Good morning, everyone. I'm going to wait and see if a few people come on here because I'm here just Monday through Saturday, sometime around 8:30. Depends on what I else has happening in the day. But between 8:30 and 9 Mountain Time, I, Marla Copal, am here with a few tidbits on how life works in the business world, how life works when you're an entrepreneur, and how your head might need to work in order to get you where you want to go. And there's something exciting about December. And then on the opposite side, there's something not so exciting about December. December seems to be the time of the year we're measuring our outcomes. And we're going, oh, I didn't get it done. Or we're going, I could still do more. And what keeps us going? Are you hoping or are you planning? And not gonna talk about the nitty gritties of those two, but I want to say that each time I talk to any of my clients, that the challenge comes from how could they take that hope and put it into a plan? And sometimes they create a gap. The gap is created for a number of reasons. But I think the biggest gap is created because people don't know what the end goal is. Stephen Covey said, start with the end in mind. And I don't think the end in mind is a book, but the end in mind might be you want to write a book because as a speaker, it always pays to have another product or an article to sell and to monetize and to grow your business. Some of you want an email list of 1,000, 1,500, maybe 5,000 people, but you got to start somewhere. You got to have a plan. So when you know what your end in mind is for what purpose, it's easier to put a plan together. But if you're just hoping you have 5,000 people, you're hoping you get a book done one day, well, that's not going to make it happen. Do you know that not only 8% of people succeed with their goals and their plans? What's happening to the other 92%? Are they living in hope? Or did they start the first of the year with their goal in mind, but because they didn't have a strong enough plan, it kind of fizzled out like a wick on a candle that never ever gets lit? It just stopped somewhere in March. Maybe you made it to June. Maybe that hope carried you through and the portion of a plan that you had was working, but somewhere along the line, something happened. It broke down. And so, where do we get this challenge that starts off our year? And then, yet at the end of the year, we go, maybe that's not going to work. Well, I'm not saying that every plan is the best plan or that every plan is a plan you should stick to. But what I am saying is if you find yourself repeating over and over and over again the same hope in December that you launch in January with a lot of resolutions and you don't have the traction throughout the year, then something's off. I don't know what that is, but I do know that after 35 years of working with people, I've got a pretty good ability to question and help you find where did you get stuck? Where did you get stuck? And I have coaches that help me get unstuck. So what the fun thing about a coach or a mentor is you got to know that they are walking their talk. They can't just get out there and help others if they don't have somebody pointing at them and saying, okay, so what did you do for that thing that you want to get done? And so where am I this year? I'm putting myself in the 8% this year because this was a big learning curve year. And I have a lot of momentum now. And I love December because in December, I get to meet most of my new clients for the next year. So I'm actually taking on new coaching clients this month so that everybody can launch 2022 and stick to the plan. So most of my clients are those who maybe know how to market, maybe they have an audience, but they really don't know um, what selling skills are or that they could tune up. And sales is only that last minute transaction that happens when money crosses the table. That's it. Prior to that, everything is relationship. It's listening really, really well. And that's my art form that I share with people is I tune up everybody's listening. And let me tell you, it goes deeper and deeper and deeper than you ever think. And so if you really, really, really want to accelerate that plan, make that plan happen, move to the 8%, not the 92% that don't get their plans done, then this is where you and I might want to connect and meet and talk about what's available. Some of the other things that happen when I see people working their hope versus plan, and sometimes they get confused, they can get mixed up, is that they don't have good work habits. So sometimes you have to work for a while and then take a break. So some successful people work 52 minutes and take 17 minutes off. Some people work 90-minute cycles and then take an hour off to exercise. Good morning. So it just depends on what it is. But what I want to say is hope is what gets us all started. But what we have to look at is where do we fall back? And where do we not get a full-blown plan together? So I'm really good at helping people put plans together and break out the steps. I see a lot of people, they got the big chunks, but what they don't know is what are the steps within the chunks? And that could be, you've got to update a skill. You got to update a marketing skill. You may need to update a posting skill. You may need to update an attitude. You may need to update, take an old strategy and see how it can be reworked and make it new. That's where a conversation with you and your mentor are going to help you find what's going to work for you. Just you. Doesn't have to. And I know that everybody's out there today saying, I got the answer. I got the answer. I'm going to ask you, how much money did you spend on people this year that said, I got the answer. I got the answer. And if you took a class and you didn't implement, then I'm challenging you to get a mentor that's going to help you implement. And I'm an implementer. I'm going to give you some guidelines. You're going to implement, and you're going to see if it works. And when you decide that your plan isn't working, that's when we regroup your plan. Regroup your plan. All of you out there, you have a lot of assets already. And I think one of the biggest things about you going out online and choosing classes that will help you, many of you are taking those classes thinking, I don't know anything. And that's BS. You know a lot. What you may not know how to do is to apply it in this situation. So when I look at my life, what have I taken from sailing and teaching people sailing that I brought into my sales world? What have I learned about being a governess early in my life that comes into teaching others about how to deal with the situations and the issues they have now with adults in their sales and marketing business? Everything we have totally plays in to where we can go and to how we can use ourselves. So what I find people doing is they say, I don't know enough, therefore I can't. Therefore, all they have is hope and they don't have a plan. And I'm going to argue that with you, that you have assets. You don't see them as assets. And those assets, it's like a book on the shelf. We need to take them down, dust them off, make them work for you, and then move you forward into what the new skills and tools are you need. But if you're not honoring yourself with what it is that you already know, with what you already do, with how you're already being with people, then you are selling yourself short. And you don't want to sell yourself short. You want to meet with someone who can see your assets that maybe you can't even do. You want to meet with someone who can see your potential, the potential you're denying. And then you want to move into the 8%. You want to move into the 8% with a plan to be successful and leave hope on the shelf like it's a book, and bring the planning book down and make it work every year. So here's what I have for you. If you're interested, my website is successwithmarla.com. And when you go out there, you're going to have a couple of options. You can get a hold of me to set a conversation. We'll just start with 15 minutes and we'll just see where are you hanging up? Where are you between hope and planning? And is there a way for you to really say, the end of 2021 is the time for me to do it differently. It's time for me to have a plan for 2022 that's going to work. Maybe you're one of those people that you're just now saying, how do I do a home business? How do I stay home this next year? Well, then that's another reason for us to have a conversation, because I have a simple offers in there. So go look through that particular link, successwithmarla.com. There's an offer out there for something that starts today in December for people to understand how to take their holiday attitudes and shift them into cash flow here in December. A lot of people have already quit their business for December. It's like, oh, nothing's going to happen. It's a holiday. Wrong. This is the month to build your business for next year. So go take a look at that. I also have, how many of you out there are already burned out? You're quitting making plans because you feel rejected every time you turn around. Well, I got an offer out there for that, or else, hey, it's time for us to talk, because that's a crazy place to be. None of us are rejected unless we choose to identify it as rejected. So let's come back to hope. If your hope died, fizzled because you thought you were rejected, then I'm going to say you didn't have a strong enough plan. If you've got a plan and you quit on the plan, only you can quit on the plan. So when you work with someone like me, we're going to figure out why you quit on that plan. Why did you quit? Because it's only the quitting that makes us lose. So don't quit. Modify the plan, adjust the plan, work with someone who can help you see what's working. Because if you're saying it isn't working, I got to tell you, what everybody does is they go through with the big eraser and they erase everything and think they have to start over. No, you may only have to throw out one simple behavior, one simple action, or one simple thought, and you're going to be able to move forward. So let's work together to figure that out and have your 2022 be successful and work because you have a plan, not just try to thrive because you have hope. Hope is only the dream to get you into the plan. You don't do the plan, the hope never happens. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.